Hi, and welcome to Morning Mayan. Today I was going to talk about the Mayan skulls a little bit because people find them really interesting, and they are. And I just wanted to give you a little experience of my own. I actually sat with a Mayan skull, believe it or not, and it's kind of a funny story, so I just wanted to share it with you. Just to give you a little background, according to myth, that the Mayan skulls, which are pictured on the glyphs, you see the Mayan kings and emperors holding this crystal skull and using it to help them tell the future, inspire them, give them messages, if you will, kind of like a crystal ball action. Supposedly there's 13 that when they all get discovered will create a new axis on which the planet will safely be able to revolve, because in 2012 when we hit that alignment, we're moving into this 26,000 year, the Earth goes into this weird kind of rotation that it does outside of everything else that anyway, it's completing it in 2012, which is why there's so much concern about what the heck's going to happen. But according to the myth with the skulls, if we were to find all 13 of these crystal skulls and align them, it would keep the Earth safe by letting it rotate on this new axis or pole, if you will, that was represented by the energy of the Mayan skulls. Basically, they've only found 2 skulls that they think are real, and they're really amazing because they're made, they don't know how they're made. Scientists today were like, we couldn't make these today because quartz crystal, when you work with it, it's a lot like diamonds. And so if you go to chip away at it, you could just ruin the whole rock itself. So somehow they believed that the real skulls were made from like 1,000-pound crystals to get down to this true crystal skull thing. So they really think and have authenticated only 2 of them. One, this English man and his young daughter found when they were excavating Mayan ruins, and the other one somehow ended up in the hands of this lady, and she named it Max. So this is where my story comes in. So I was all thrilled because I just won my scholarship to the Mayan ruins and spent all this time down there with the scientists, and I came back and I'm like, oh yeah, I got this whole Mayan thing going. And I heard that they were doing a showing at this local spiritual shop of somebody was bringing one of the real Mayan skulls, and I was like, oh, I gotta go. So I show up to go see the skull, and they want $50 to sit alone with the skull so you can have this like uninterrupted time with the skull, to have to tell you whatever. So I'm like, all right, I didn't have a lot of money, but I like peeled out my $50. I'm like, I need to sit with that skull, So they bring you into this room, and they have the skull there. Max, she called it Max, and it was one of the only 2 real ones, and it's pretty cool looking, I gotta say. And they had it sitting on a table with a black cloth and backlit with this light, and a chair across from it where you're supposed to sit. So I sat across from it, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna get some like messages to help save the world or something. I don't know what my ego was thinking, but so I sat across from it a half an hour, and I closed my eyes, I did my best to get really in tune. I'm waiting to get this like big message from the skull. So unfortunately, the only thing I could think about was the darn $50 I spent to sit with the skull in this room. And so after the end of the half an hour, I had personally got no messages, none, And the only thing I did get was that I obviously have money issues because all I could think about with this ancient artifact was the $50. So I just wanted to share that story because I think it's kind of funny, and because supposedly the rest of the skulls are still out there. So hopefully if you ever get a chance to sit with a Mayan skull, you'll have a lot more potent information come through than I did. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a little insight onto my personal experience with the Mayan crystal skulls, and I'd love to hear if anybody else had any experiences. Okay, have a great day.